I'm Brittany. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be making a skirt to go with this. It's something I got off of Amazon, and it'll go with my bum roll, I think is what it's called, that I made in the last video. I will say that the quality of this isn't awesome, but it is decent for how much I paid for it. I don't know if you can tell on the camera, but the trimming right here is like the cheap silky stuff, like imitation silk. The fabric I'm going to be using is actually a pre-cut fabric that I got from Walmart. I normally don't go with pre-cut because I like to be able to get as much fabric as I need, but it was on sale and I felt like this color would go really well with this. I got two of them. The other one is back there. You do need to press it because the wrinkles are really bad when it's pre-cut. A little tip: always keep the cardboard if you get pre-cut. This is a great way to organize your fabric. I am trying to get better about organizing my fabric stash and my yarn stash and all of that stuff. And so I have been saving these to try and help with that as much as possible. I'm going to be using this dress that I got also off of Amazon, which actually would go really well with this for cottagecore. So a trick that I do is I take a dress or a skirt that is the right length, that hits right where I want it to hit, no matter, like, even if it's shorter too. I will use it. A great way, even if it's like a dress, you can just fold it in half at the waist and then fold it in half again. And you have a great way to gauge how long you need it, whether you're using a pattern or for what I'm doing today and just using it as my pattern. Just remember to add enough seam allowance on the bottom, on the top, and if you're using the silhouette of it, which I'm not in this case, but if you are, make sure you add seam allowance on the side too. Just a little tip to make your sewing easier, because honestly, this has saved time and this has saved fabric, because I can't tell you how many times I was so stupid. I cut out the entire piece, like the fat, without adjusting the length, and then I tried it on. It was just so big, and I would have saved so much fabric if I had just adjusted the pattern. That was early on in my sewing journey, but please learn from my mistake, because honestly, that was costly and frustrating. So, but without further ado, let's get started. So I'm finding that the fabric isn't wanting to be cooperative. It's still very wrinkly, even though I've gone over this bit with an iron. So if you come across that problem, get a spray bottle with just water in it, and this can help. This technically is supposed to be a steamer iron, but honestly it is so old. I'm worried about it being too hot, so I'm going to put it down a little bit. I'm gonna let it cool down a little bit. Another tip, if you're using pre-cut fabric, sometimes they don't measure right. Yeah, side to side, that is actually correct. It's just a little bit over 44 inches. Okay, it's just at a yard. So it is correct. I'm thinking, because I'm so short, I might be able to get away with using lengthwise. I think it'll be okay. It's the width that's worrying me. I can times it by 2. Hopefully this is also measured correctly. So, okay. The length of the skirt will be fine. There's enough, just enough for how long I want the skirt and for a little bit of seam allowance on the top. The thing that's kind of worrying me is if there's going to be enough yardage, because since there's not enough yardage on, or extra yardage here for the waistband, I might have to take it from there, which means I don't know if it'll be as full of a skirt as I want it to be. But the only way to find out is for me to lay this down, but I'm going to remove the ironing board first to do that so it's flat. It may not be quite as full on the bottom as I had hoped. There will at least be enough room for the waist and the hips, so that's good. And what I am going to do is I'm going to do pleats on the top. I don't think there's enough yardage for me to do my original plan though. What I might have to do is, instead of doing a waistband, I have the top be a drawstring, because with the waistband that I wanted to do, I would also need enough fabric to do a placket, which is basically just like a strip of fabric. And I cannot spare any fabric from this. So what I will do is I will sew both sides together on the sides, and then on one side I will leave about this big of a gap for the drawstring gap part, which I'm okay with, because I mean the original placket was kind of like a little slit, so then it can go into my 18th century pockets that I made with my Regency gown. So like I can use those, and that's fine, and that's historically accurate. I will have to use, I think I have some extra bias tape or a ribbon or something, because there won't be enough fabric for me to make it out of this. Hopefully I can find one that is in the right color and it looks roughly the same as the other one, which is good because I've actually had other pre-cut that wasn't. Don't do pre-cut for this kind of thing. It was oh, it's on sale and I'll keep it for a project. I don't know what project yet. And then I pulled it out for this one because I was like, it's perfect. So I was using my fabric stash, you know, and I was hoping it was enough. I think for now I'm just gonna do that and work with what I've got. Test it out with the bum roll, see how it looks. I don't know, I'm worried about, I put it on a lower setting too, and it still seems to be, fabric's not really reacting well to the iron. So I guess I will just sew without it for now. Don't you just love when things don't go to plan? But that does mean that it will be faster. Maybe. Or maybe that was foreshadowing. Please, please don't let that be foreshadowing. I can't deal with any more not working. Honestly. Plus the selvage takes a few of the, I mean, that'll be right on the seam line, so I guess that'll make the seams easier to make straight. Trying to find a positive. All right, to the sewing machine. All right, sorry for the background noise. I've laid it out flat, and now I'm just going to even out the hemline, and then I'm going to try and iron the hem, but when I was trying to iron it earlier, it seemed to be melting the fabric a little bit, so I had to stop, which is weird because it's supposed to be 100% cotton, and it was on that setting, so I don't know what's happening with that, but if it does that again, I'll probably just have to sew it without ironing it, which I don't like to do, but if that's my only option, I'll have to do that. This is the finished, this is the inside, outside of the waistband. I've already threaded the ribbon through it, and I finished the hem. And how I decided to finish the seams of the open part. Ooh, focus, gosh. I hand sewed it down. It's pretty invisible. And I will be finishing the seams. I haven't done that yet. So yeah, it is now complete. That was a lot easier than I was expecting, so that's great. So that's the finished skirt. To go with it, I think the bum roll really gets the right shape. It, as a modern person, it looks weird, but I know historically it's the right shape. Overall, I think the skirt took about 5 hours last night to make. So yeah, that's it for my video today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you next time. Bye. I honestly can understand why they would need maids, like, to help get dressed. 'Cause, like, just lacing this up